Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is a chart for the new moon, 7th of April 2016, set for London at 12:23. This is an electrifying new moon, and my phrase that comes to my mind is that we have to learn to dance on the shifting carpet. The reason is planets are very close together. The Sun and Moon are always together. This is the degree 18 degrees of Aries. You need to check your chart to see where that is. But they're right next to Uranus. Uranus is the planet that is unpredictable. Uranus has a very eccentric orbit. It's incredibly creative. It can be genius. But also it governs things such as revolutions. It upsets the apple cart. All these phrases that we most probably don't really care for. 2 days after the new moon, the Sun will be exactly with Uranus. But it's only a few hours after the new moon that the moon will also contact Uranus. Accidents are very Uranian, aren't they? They're things that we do not expect. That's why they're an accident. The tension at this new moon, you might already been feeling it, because here's Pluto in Capricorn. Still, it's there for a long time. It's not going anywhere fast. It's very slow moving. But it's at a right angle to the new moon. The new moon is a seeding time. Aries is a fire sign. It wants to start things. It initiates. It is springtime after all. And we do have Venus, Moon, Sun, Uranus, 4 planets in Aries. That's a strong energy of fire. Venus is what we love, what we desire, and the Sun and Moon together create the consciousness and also our emotions. It's governed, an astrology term, but it's governed in turn by Mars. So always, whatever sign a planet is going through, we look for what is the planet that governs that sign. And it's Mars. Here it is, Mars in Sagittarius, a fire sign. Sagittarius is also to do with adventure, to do with long distance travel, to do with a higher mind, to do with teaching. It in turn is governed by this Jupiter energy, which is still retrograde and won't go forward until May, that is. The tension, though, of Pluto, which is a huge amount of power, but Pluto is the god of the underworld after all, the unconscious. So you might have felt a lot of pressure and self-imposed pressure. It's this time to be kind to yourself. Mercury is in Taurus. Mercury, the messenger planet, is in a sign governed in turn by Venus, the planet of love. What will happen in a few days' time is that Venus will actually move through Aries, and is fairly fast, will on the 12th of April be in a beautiful trine, a flow of energy next week with Mars. That's very romantic, basically. Also at that time you might see the difference in the chart, and that's when Mercury in Taurus is also moving in a very good flow of energy to Jupiter. There it is, 13, 14, 15, it moves fast at the moment. So that's by next Thursday, next Friday. And as you can see, by the end of next week, we have it's called a grand trine, an Earth grand trine. Now that's very grounding. That's very stable. That's very earthy. And Earth, as you know, is we can smell it, touch it, feel it. It's tangible. It manifests. So we can, if we use the creativity of Uranus, I believe then we can create something. A word, very important word about Mars. And back to the new moon. Mars is very slow at the moment. The reason being it's about to go retrograde this month on the 18th of April. It usually goes 2 days it takes to go 1 degree in the zodiac. That's its kind of usual pace. But because it's going to go retrograde, it's really slow. And it's taking at the moment 12 days to go through 1 degree. In actual fact, it's taking 24 days to go at 8, it will be at 8 degrees, in other words, for 24 days, because it's going to go back through 8 degrees. So if you have a planet at 8 degrees in your chart, you will be having a super effective, powerful Mars energy directing at it, pointing at it. Now I take the view that a planet is retrograde is closer to the Earth, therefore has more power. Other astrologers will disagree and say the opposite, it's weaker. All planets retrograde are times of review. So this month, it is about any project that you are initiating when Mars goes retrograde to reconsider. Make sure it's not a kind of fly-by-night something that you're going to get bored with in a couple of months, for instance. Something that has the quality also of Saturn, also in Sagittarius. Saturn, coming back to the new moon chart, is making a very good relationship to the Sun and the Moon and Uranus. Saturn is now retrograde, but this is the careful planning, strategic planning, and putting effort in. Also, something I know I lack at times, scheduling. Saturn loves scheduling, it loves order. So if you're being a little bit haphazard, that's Uranus, that's the energy of Uranus, which is exciting, it's all creative, it's new things. It also may be time to slow down and start putting things in a more systematic order in your life. Now that can be just simply spring cleaning. I've been doing spring cleaning, sorting things out. So things are now easier to find. There's not so much clutter. At my desk, everything about how we work. If you know, your desk reflects your mind. So if it's really messy, I would encourage you now to sort things out and clean things up. But to look around the environment, how you spend your days, is how you spend your life. So this is a very good time to be doing that. That's some of the ideas for this month. There's always more to digest, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. Thank you for watching.